tonight. I just want to share a bit of news, and I'm getting this news from very informed sources that the key negotiator in this is now turning out to be Sri Ravi Shankar, who is the head of the Art of Living. He has had meetings with Congress leaders. He has had a meeting with Lal Krishna Advani some time back. I don't know if he's going to have a meeting with the Prime Minister, cannot be ruled out, however. And Sri Ravi Shankar is emerging as a key interlocutor. We don't know what the terms of this negotiation are, but what we do know is that the attempt is to soften all sides. Ravi Shankar Prasad, welcome. Swapan Dasgupta, it's great to see you back tonight. Venkatesh Naik is co-convener of the NCPRI. That's the body. Aruna Roy is a part of it. Critical of Anna and his movement. Ranjit Kumar is with us tonight. And Abhinandan Sikri is a member of India Against Corruption with our in our studios tonight from New Delhi. Thank you very, very much. Swapan Dasgupta, you think by tomorrow there will be a negotiated settlement?
No, I think that's a bit premature. You see, I think, the real problem is that there's a huge trust deficit between both sides. I think what has really happened is that over a series of, over a few months, the Anna campaign seems to be under the impression, and sometimes it's quite a justified impression, that the government intends to deal with this protest through initially it was denial, now it is subterfuge. That means you lead them up a particular road and then you carefully subvert that entire process and they end up looking rather silly. That's the overall impression which has been created by the government. So when Anna Hazare talks about government ki niyat is suspect, that's really what it is. So initially, before any negotiations can even begin or even begin to have any meaning, to acquire a meaningful dimension, I think the credibility of the government, that it is serious in addressing some of the issues which have been raised, which is mindful of the impact of the mass mobilization. I think some of these issues have to be settled first. And I think that will take more than a day.
Okay, now there have been suggestions, Ravi Shankar Prasad, and I don't want to beat about the bush on this, that silently there are members of the Sangh Parivar who are involved or participating or who have been encouraged to take part, and maybe not directly the BJP but affiliate organizations, etc., providing support to this. And this has been loudly suggested from within the Congress party. I want your response to that, Mr. Prasad, first. And also, okay, let me get your response to that first, actually.
Although I don't think you are like Congress so detached away from the reality of India when you make a suggestion like that. And the reality of the India today is that the people are deeply distressed, pained, anger over the complete inaction by the UPA government led by Dr. Manmohan Singh over a series of corruption which we have witnessed. Just see one latest example. We have talked too much about 2G, about Commonwealth. In case of vote for cash scam, a slur in our democracy, in spite of the Supreme Court nudging, no meaningful action has been taken in spite of these public pressure. Therefore, to say that the lakhs of people around the country are only there because of Sangh Parivar is almost an insult to the sense of anger of the people of the country. Yes, if Sangh Swayamsevak also feels angry, he has got the right to be there, as many professionals are there. But this is the anger of India. And Dr. Manmohan Singh, as a political leader, ought to have responded because of this political problem by assuring the nation that he will take action. He will be taking action with determination. I regret that is sadly absent. That is the first problem. The second issue, if you allow me to highlight, is because of this lack of understanding of this genuine sense of anger, there is a complete flip-flop in the government. The left hand does not know as to what the right is doing. We see a lot of autonomous interlocutors since the morning whose names are appearing on your channel. Some additional chief secretary is there, some other MLC from Maharashtra is coming. Someone doesn't want to talk to Kapil Sibal. Kapil Sibal doesn't want to talk ABC of Anna team. This is not the way. And don't forget, We have comments of the ministers. You cannot talk with a gun at our forehead.
Mr.
Some
Prasad.
ministers saying that Anna team is talking like a legislature. Therefore, you are not creating the condition conducive for a dialogue.
Mr. Prasad.
In spite of so much of anger.
Mr. Prasad.
Yes.
May I just say something, sir?
Yes.
I am not detached from India.
Yes.
I am detached from political parties. Abhinandan Sikri, my question to you is, are you detached from the mood that is reflected from groups like Aruna Roy's? Are you, as in your movement, now trying to own the movement? So we own the movement and we won't let any other voices in. Because Venkatesh Nayak, who represents that group, is this about ownership or is this about the issue?
No, not at all. I have a tremendous amount of respect for Arunaji and Nikhil and Shekhar Singh. I have stood with them in 2006 when the RTI amendments were proposed. And I remember Arunaji was there at Jantar Mantar when she shouted the slogan "Ladenge," and I chanted along "Jeetenge." I mean, the utmost amount of respect for them, and if they had a way to take it forward, great. If they want to come aboard, great. I have absolutely no point of issue or anger or sense of ownership with this, and neither is anyone from Team Anna. Trust me, everybody there has a great amount of respect for all the people at NCPRI. It's just that if there were a more effective way to do this, I'm willing to go along. Let's just get this done, because this chance will not come again. The problem is there are too many people interested in delaying this, delaying tactics. Like day 7, suddenly the government is very sensitive and they're saying pressure is being put on Team Anna. You people don't care for Anna's health. You people don't care what's happening to him. Where were you for 6 days? No specific has been given to us. No one has come and said this is the specific condition. Is that acceptable to you? I mean, we are being accused of being rigid. Has any specific proposal come from the government? The last time Anna sat on fast, he did break the fast, didn't he?
One second.
Did he get what he asked for? No.
No, we are getting into complex issues here. No, we are getting into complex issues here. I have a question for Venkatesh Nayak, but to answer my question, Abhinandan, why aren't you answering my question? If you are
there's no ownership. No, there's no ownership. Let there be a strong Lokpal. Let there be a strong Lokpal. See, I am not a constitutional expert like Prashant. To my understanding, the difference in Arunaji's bill and our bill are two minor ones. One, it isn't under one umbrella organization. There's going to be a 3-tier statewide setup for the state Lokayuk.
Yes.
I don't see that as a game changer at all. I'd be surprised if anyone does.
Okay, now I want
that one and the Citizens Charter, where there is going to be
to my question to Venkatesh Nayak,
for everything to be done, whether it's passport, whether it's two main issues where the bills are different.
My question to Venkatesh Nayak is this: Venkatesh Nayak, I'm not going to beat around the bush at all tonight. I'm not in a mood to anymore. Question is very simple to you. Do you not worry? Does Aruna Roy not worry? We have highest respect for her that she's probably being used. That politicians typically say, you may not have spoken on this so far. Why don't you just come out and have a press conference? Let's muddy the waters a little bit. Let's make one side of civil society fight with another side of civil society. Conveniently time a news conference, which has never been thought of being had before. When many news conferences were held on the anti-communal violence bill, not one was held by Aruna Roy on this particular issue. And while muddying the waters, we buy some time. Is that not a concern that politicians would be terribly using committed civil society members?
I must really say that is not what has happened. What has happened is we have used this period of time to get together our own research and our own proposals as to how an institution like the Lokpal should be structured, along with 4 other ways of handling corruption in this country. So this is what has happened during the period of time. Nobody is using us, and let me also make it very clear, we do not have an alternative bill. There is a government bill that has been tabled in Parliament. We have researched that, we have worked on that, and we are making recommendations for strengthening it. If many of the suggestions that we are having match with what is mentioned in the Jan Lokpal bill, then I think it is a coincidence. But at the same time, let me also say that Abhinandan's idea that we have very few differences is not very true. In fact, we have very fundamental philosophical differences in the approach towards tackling corruption in this country.
But that's
it is not just a question of having one body, it's a question of having a series of mechanisms that are accountable and making use of what exists in the country, strengthen it. It could be an institution like the CBC,
my question, you didn't answer my question.
Or it could be an institute, a law that is being proposed to protect whistleblowers.
No, you didn't answer my question.
Even a law that is being proposed to bring in accountability of the judiciary, that is the High Court and the Supreme Court.
Venkatesh Nayak, the fact of the matter is this, that while the anti-communal bill was being pushed by the NSE and by Aruna Roy and all the other people, including Harsh Mandar, Pratyush Sinha, Amitabh Mukhopadhyay, Annie Raja, Usha Raman, everyone. The fact is, I want to know how many people of Aruna Roy's team actually considered taking on the government as far as this Lokpal bill was concerned. And why did these people not make a point, a simple and effective point, that how can you have a body in which the investigation is under the patronage of the same people it is supposed to investigate? Nobody asked the question. But when Anna Hazare went on a fast, you immediately called a news conference at the press club. I mean, what's going on here?
No, I would like to make a very clear point here. Since April, we have been saying that the government version, what is being discussed in the public domain, is certainly weak. At the same time, we've also been saying that the proposal that the India Against Corruption draft is giving is unworkable. It creates a super state, it creates a super bureaucracy, and we have seen how such super bureaucracies have ruined this country and ruined dreams. We do not want a repetition of the same situation.
But that's fantastic that you say that, but I think the simple point is this. Okay, I get Ranjit Kumar in there. I'm going to get reactions from Swapan Dasgupta and Ravi Shankar Prasad. Ranjit Kumar, you too have strong views against Team Anna and the methodology. But what about the issue that you're creating a Lokpal?
Let me put it in three perspectives. One is that corruption must be eradicated at every cost, and the laws which are already in force are not being used enough for that purpose. So a Lokpal bill is required, which has been waiting for 40 years. Number two, the right to protest is a fundamental right to peacefully protest, and the protest should be allowed to go on, and it should not in any manner be tried to be pressed down. Number three is the question whether how the bill. You see, as long as our constitution, democratically elected government is there, there is a parliament in place.
So 1 minute.
That parliament has to consider. That parliament must consider every aspects of the bill. The standing committee which will consider the bill will have a hearing, public hearing.
No, but Ranjit Kumar, 1 minute. Ranjit Kumar, 1 minute. The constitution is being liberally quoted nowadays. Tell me, when B.R. Ambedkar brought about the constitution, 1 minute, did B.R. Ambedkar have something called the National Advisory Committee? And did he say anywhere that for anything to be taken up pronto in cabinet, it will have to go through the NSE?
These are all these are all extra constitutional authorities, and I am not speaking on them. They should not be there.
The question about process, and hence the question I'm asking you. Everybody is quoting process.
The bill will be. I am saying that when the bill will be considered by the standing committee, everybody has a right to go and represent there and ask that the bill should be in this form and the act should be passed. There is, after all, elected representatives who are there in parliament who must discuss it and who must pass it. That is the law of the land. Thereafter, the bill can be challenged as a constitutionally violative before the Supreme Court.
I don't know. I don't know. I think for all the profound
judicial review available.
No, for all the profound
review can always be exercised.
No, for all
therefore, to say that
Mr. Kumar, I'm reducing. Mr. Kumar, tonight I'm reducing this argument to its bare basics. I think all the profound essay writers have got it completely wrong. The profound essay writers have forgotten the simple issue is this. You have a government selection panel with 6 politicians, 2 judges, and 2 other people who are basically cabinet secretary and another government appointee. A committee comprising politicians will be objective and neutral in the selection of a committee that keeps a watch over it. Why are none of the profound essay writers talking about the conflict of interest here? I want to get in Mr. Swapan Dasgupta. No, what's... This is not about...
Get that provision struck down in a court of law. If the bill is not right,
for it to be struck down, it has to go to the standing committee. 1 second. Swapan Dasgupta.
No. After the act is passed, there will be, you can challenge the act.
No, here's the question of process. Swapan Dasgupta, please.
Well, Arnav, I think given the impasse, and I think, and all sides are agreed on one particular issue, which is that the government's Lokpal bill lacks any teeth.